In this video, we're going to learn how to factor quadratic functions. All of our functions in this video have an a equal to the value of 1. In the next video, we'll learn what happens when you have a different a value. Let's take a look at 3 different examples of factoring quadratic functions where a equals 0. In our first scenario, let's take x squared plus 9x plus 8. What we're doing here is we're actually undoing the area method which we learned before. So we need to go ahead and make our box, split it into 4. Our first term, x squared, goes in the top left box, and our last term, 8, goes in the bottom right box. We need to find 2 different numbers. Our product is going to be our a value, which is 1, times our c value, which is 8. Our product is 8. Our sum is equal to our b value, which is 9. So essentially what we're looking for is 2 numbers who have a product or multiply to 8, and those same 2 numbers will add to 9. Well, the different numbers we have that multiply to 8 would be 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. If you notice, of those 2 pairs, our choice of 1 and 8 adds up to 9. So what we're going to do is write 1x here and 8x here. When we factor our x squared, we have x and x. If we factor an x out of here, we have 8. Factoring an x out of here, we have 1. Our factored form here would be x plus 8, x plus 1. In our second example, what we're going to have is x squared minus 9x plus 18. What you'll notice here is that our c value is positive, however our b value is negative. So we're going to go ahead and set it up the same way, drawing our box with 4 equal segments, pieces, and we're going to put x squared in the top left, 18 in the bottom right. Our product, same rule. Our a value is 1, c value is 18. 1 times 18 is 18, that's our product. However, our sum is negative 9. The way we reach a positive product but get a negative sum is a little bit different. There are 2 different ways to reach a positive product. You can have a positive number times a positive number. However, if you think about that, a positive number plus a positive number will equal a positive number. Therefore, what we want to look at is taking both of our numbers for our product will be negative, which will therefore add to a negative number. So let's think of numbers that multiply to be 18. Well, we have 1 and 18. If we make both those negative and add them together, that would be negative 19. Those don't work out. How about negative 2 and negative 9? If I add those together, they're negative 11. That doesn't work out. If I take negative 3 times negative 8, those multiply to be, negative 3 and negative 8 don't work. That would be negative 3 and negative 6. If we take negative 3 times negative 6, that's 18. When we do a negative 3 plus negative 6, that's going to give us negative 9. So what we need to do is put negative 3x here and negative 6x here. Factoring this, we have x and x. X factored out of here is negative 6. X factored out of here is negative 3. Our factored form being x minus 6 times the quantity of x minus 3. In our third example, we have something that looks like this: x squared minus 7x minus 18. If you notice now, our c is negative and our b is negative. Again, we put our first term in the top left and our last term in the bottom right. We need numbers whose product would be 1 times negative 18, and our sum is our b value, which is negative 7. In order to get a product that's negative, we need a positive and a negative number. So let's think about numbers that multiply to be negative 18. We have 1 and 18. If we make one of those negative, let's look at both choices. If we make 18 negative or 1 negative. If we add these together, we get negative 17. That doesn't work. Add those together, you get positive 17. Doesn't work. Let's look at 2 and 9. We need to make one of those negative. If we do 2 plus negative 9, that ends up adding to negative 7. If I do negative 2 plus 9, that ends up positive 7. So what I need to use is this set right here. I put 2x in one box, negative 9x in one box. I'm going to go ahead and take an x and an x out of that x squared. If I factor an x out of negative 9x, I get negative 9. If I factor an x out of 2x, I get 2. My factored form ends up being the quantity of x minus 9 times the quantity of x plus 2.